TTC safety. And the TTC says that their initiatives are actually having a positive impact across the system, although some passengers don't seem convinced about that.
And that's the issue indeed. CB24's Eden Abeba is looking live now, looking at the details of this new report. And Eden, despite what the numbers say, if you don't get the passengers on, that's a real problem.
Exactly. At the end of the day, customer satisfaction around safety should be the TTC's top priority. They've spent about $5 million at the beginning of the year to make sure that that happens. But as you mentioned, the poll numbers don't seem to be reflecting that. I'm joined now by Sheila Pisey-Allen, who is the Executive Director of TTC Riders. Sheila, I want to first just get your overall thoughts and sentiments around these findings. Overall, crime reports on the TTC are down from the beginning of the year, but the satisfaction around safety is also down. Does that surprise you at all?
It doesn't surprise me, and depending on what data we look at, we can tell a different story about what's happening. So the rate of incidents has gone down, but the number of offenses started going down since December, before any staff were hired by the TTC, and the number of incidents on transit systems, including GO, has gone up in May. So we all want the TTC to be safer, but there's no overnight solution, and we're challenging mayoral candidates to invest in care-based solutions, because no matter how many outreach workers get hired by the TTC, it's only going to go so far if people have nowhere to go, and that's what we're seeing.
And let's talk a little bit about those strategies. The TTC has implemented a lot of their own. They call it the TTC Move Along initiative. Your group has been very outspoken against that. We're hearing mayoral candidates, as you mentioned, talking about what they would do if elected. Candidates like Mark Saunders saying that they would get rid of panhandlers and things of that nature on the TTC. Do either of these initiatives seem like the right solution to your group?
Well, we think that the TTC's plan to move people along and remove unhoused people from the transit system is very dangerous, because it scapegoats unhoused people for violence when they're actually more likely to experience violence than the general population. Same thing with candidates who scapegoat people who use drugs, unhoused people for the violence we're seeing on the TTC. It's simply not true, but it also dehumanizes people. So we're calling on candidates to really connect the dots. We can't have a safer TTC without a safer city, without investing in care-based approaches, and that includes rent geared to income housing, stopping encampment evictions, and investing in suitable shelter, like expanding shelter hotels.
And speaking of some of those solutions, I know your group is hosting a debate around TTC, including safety as one of the primary topics, but it's a debate that won't include mayoral candidates. Can you talk a little bit about why you're making that choice and what you really hope to get out of that debate?
Yeah, we're hosting a transit riders debate next Tuesday, so that no candidates, no spin. We're going to be looking at candidates' records, because a number of people running for mayor actually voted for service cuts, voted to keep taxes down and not make the investments that the TTC needs. So we'll be looking at who's promised to reverse service cuts, but also how will they pay for it? Who's promised to build a Scarborough RT busway when it closes this fall, and who's promised to bring in a commercial TTC levy to make the investment in transit that we need to see.
And that's happening on June 20th. Sheila Pisey-Allen with TTC Riders, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Nick and Jen, I'll send it back to you at the desk, and we'll speak with some riders today to get their take on the latest numbers.
Okay, interested to hear what they have to say. Eden Abeba live outside of St. George Station. Thank you.